Hi everyone, how you doing? I've come on to make try and make one of those Topiary trees that Ilene McInnes had made a few weeks back. I just love the mixed media style that she used for hers. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. So I had to ask a few people what I could put on, what type of glue I could put on this, because I do know that some of the glues eat into the polystyrene ball, but hopefully I've worked it out. PVA, that's what my sister told me, and it should be fine. And I've been looking everywhere. I had a great big bottle of it. I still must have a couple of boxes down in the garage unpacked. But I've got some tacky glue, and first off I'm going to paint my ball. I want to paint it a purple, a shade of purple. And then I've got some of this gold coloured napkin that was sent to me, that I'm going to put some little bits and pieces of that on there. And I'm actually looking for some purple paint. There we go. Okay, I've got some. Alright, so I'm going to get started, and I will speed up bits and pieces of the videos so it's not so long. And I did, just before I pulled out all these other little bits and pieces, some flowers and some pearls and some lace and some ribbons. So I'm really not sure exactly what I'm going to put on here, but all of these are just like little off-cut bits that I thought I'd use. Some ribbons and laces. I'm not going to use those. A couple of stamps that I've been saving to put in my my collection journal. Yeah, but I've got little off-cut bits of ribbons and laces, and I've found a butterfly, and I've got some hearts. So I'll just leave those to the side, because that's, hopefully they won't get in my way, because that's for later. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of colour on my ball, and I'm going to be painting that up too and putting some tissue papers on it, so I'm going to use that as just the holder for my ball for the time being. And I'm just doing it in the mixed media style that Ilene did, and I'll leave her video link down in my description. Hers just turned out so awesome, and I just thought, oh, that is just, she does some wonderful, inspiring projects. Oh, that's going to stick. I didn't realise that. Maybe not use that, because I'm going to keep getting it stuck. I'll just get another, that'll do, plastic container that I don't have to worry about. Yeah, it's only sticky from where I've painted it. You might hear my husband coughing in the background. He's slowly getting better. Blue on there, but it is actually purple. Isn't that funny? I'm actually using the purple, like you can read, see there, it says purple, oh, the wrong way, purple, and it's coming up blue on the video. At the moment I'm not using purple, I'm putting a bit of white on it. Talking about the purple, just to tone it down a fraction. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and while I'm letting that dry, I'll clean my hand. Just grab a baby wipe. I think my baby wipe's too far away from me. There, that might be better. I'm going to, I'll just move that out of the road. I'm going to paint this purple straight up, and then I'm thinking I'm going to let it dry and then give it a coat of white and then sand it back to make it like a shabby chic kind of style, I suppose. I'll let that have a dry and then I'll be back. Okay, so that's pretty dry. That's pretty dry. I think it's dry enough for me to carry on. And I'm going to add a coat of white, and I'm just going to use white gesso for this. It's sort of a experiment. It didn't take long for these to dry at all. Not sure whether I'll need 2 coats of this white or not. I'll just see how I go. I'll let that dry, and I will give it another coat, because there's some spots where that purple paint really wasn't completely dry. That was the kind of coverage I was looking for the white. And I'm not worried about the paint being inside that anyway, because that's going to be all covered up. Okay. So that's good. I'm going to let that dry completely now. Okay, so my ball is nearly dry, completely dry. And I'm going to to rip a few pieces of this tissue paper and glue some of this onto my ball. I don't really want it that big. Oops. Okay, I just had to go out and check on hubby. He was having a bit of a coughing fit. It's just so scary watching someone when they can't breathe properly. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little container here and I'm going to use some of this glue. Some white glue and I'm going to put some of the gold tissue paper on it. So I'm going to let that completely dry. Oh, don't want it sticking in there, do I? Before I carry on any more with that one. Stop touching it because I'm pulling up ripping the tissue paper. Okay, so just before that dries, I'm just going to put a little bit of old music sheet paper on it. So I'm going to wet it first, just to make it a little bit more pliable to go on there. And I think I might have wet it too much, but that's okay. Okay, that'll do, I think. All right. Just let them completely dry now. Tidy my table up. Okay, and I'll be back in a minute. So while I'm waiting for my foam balls to dry, this here is pretty dry now. And I'm going to get some sandpaper and just give it a little sand and hope I get the effect that I'm going for. I'll do it on here because then I'll change this. This is what I want. Take too much of it off. I'm just trying to take just a bit of the white paint so that I can see the purple underneath. Oops, nearly dropped it. I really like that effect. It's something different. Push down on it a little bit harder with it leaning on the table. Exactly what I wanted. Just give that a wipe with my rag. And get all the excess dust off it. Okay. So that's my little pot so far, and I really like that. Like, I've even got a little bit of the terracotta coming through, and I like that effect. Okay, so that's that done, and I'm still waiting for my balls to dry. I've got them sitting out on the balcony now. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to use a little bit of this, what's it called? Well, it's calling it ribbon, but it's like a very heavy duty ribbon. It's more like it's not hessian, like really heavy cotton material. So I've really got no idea what it's actually called. It's calling it ribbon. So I want to use a bit of that just around the rim. So I'm just going to roughly measure, which is about, not roughly, I'm going to measure. About 1/2 inch. So I am going to mark that and cut it. Mark it on the wrong side, be better. I'm going to cut it just inside that line I drew. I'm going to just use tacky glue for that too. So I've got that on there. That looks nice, I like that. Looks pretty. So I could use that as the front where the join is and put some flowers on that. But I'll just let that dry first. So that's what my ball is looking like so far, and my little pot, terracotta pot. So what I'm thinking, I like the gold mixed in with the purple, so I'm just going to add a little bit of gold paint. I might just use my finger. I put a bit more white in, I think. If I can, there's my white paint. So I'm using the last bit of my white paint here, and it seems to have gone all gluggy. There's a bit of purple on that too. Oops, dropping everything. A bit better. Now I'll put a bit more gold on there. I just blended those music sheet papers in a little bit better, in a little bit more, so, and that's what I wanted. Look at that texture. Oh, yummy. Going to let that dry again, and then I'm going to do some stamping on it. And my favourite stamp is this one from Kaiser Craft, and it's not the tiny dot one, so I don't know where the cover is for it. It's the script stamp. I might use that tiny dot one as well. That needs a good clean, doesn't it? Very slack, aren't I? Okay, so I'll just put that to the side and let it dry a bit more. So on here, I'm just thinking, that's upside down, that's right, there. Just to put a bit of stamping on the little terracotta pot with the vintage sepia, because it sort of looks like gold, doesn't it? And I don't have any gold, so I'm just going to go round the bottom of it and just put a little bit of this script stamp. There we go. I like that. That looks cool. That looks really good. Okay, and I'll just be back when this ball dries a little bit more. Here comes the fun part for me, because I've never ever worked with this stuff before, I don't think. I can't remember I have. So, and if I remember rightly, Ilene just cut hers down to sort of fit in there. So I need a blade, don't I? Where's my blade? There it is. Alright. Floral foam brick. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to cut a chunk off, I think. roughly measuring the width of it. And that was really crooked, and then she just twisted it. Oh, cool. Okay, that worked. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so about that much. I don't know. That's the right height, more or less. Was it that piece? Okay, so I'm just going to cut a bit more off that. And now just shape it somehow. I really don't like the feel of this stuff. It's going to be miles too big. I don't think I could even squash that in there. No. Miles too big, Wendy. Right, let's try that. And squish it in. That's not even going in. Yes, it is. Oh, bit of elbow. I had to use my whole body to push that in then. Okay, and we'll just trim the top off. Okay, well that's packed in there pretty tight. That's really good. Okay, so I'll just clean that up and I'll be right back. So I got it squished in there. I had to use my whole body, more or less, to push it down, but I got there. Okay, I'll be back in a sec when I clean this mess up. Okay, so I'm back to my ball now because I've got that to where I want it at the moment, and I want to put some stamping on my ball. So I'm more or less going to do the same as what I've done with the terracotta pot, and use the vintage sepia and just go and stamp all around it with my script stamp, just to give it another layer, and then I'll work out what direction I want to place my ball. Okay. dry for a couple of minutes. And I was just sitting here thinking I might put some black ink on. Yeah, that looks alright. Using the small spots, just to add another little bit of interest to it before I actually start to decorate it. Just having a look to see if I want any more on it. Yeah, I like that. Oh, that's looking nice. Very mixed meadery. Mixed meadery. Dear. Okay, yeah, I really like that. That looks good. Okay. Clean my stamp. And that one. Okay, so I'll give that a few minutes and I'll put these away. And now I've just got to work out how I'm going to decorate that. So I put everything in my little box that I wanted to use. I don't need that anymore. I was also thinking to use a little piece of this. I wish I had some smaller ones. Let me see what there's in here. I have some smaller ones here, but I don't know what colour they are. Small white one. Yeah, that's going to be a bit too big, I think, for what I want. So I'll pass on that. I won't use those. So let's think. Little clusters of flowers. Buttons. And I've got a butterfly. And I might use a piece of this on here because that looks so pretty. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to start by just cut that there. I'm going to start by putting, I'll just put that out of the road, a piece of this right round the centre and use this side here to build up my little cluster somehow. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to do it. If I don't do it, I'll change my mind. Trim that up somehow, just here. Just to make it a little, just to make it a bit tidier. Okay. So that's what I've got so far. Before I go any further, I haven't got any dowel. So I'm thinking of using some skewers. And where are they? In my drawer. I've got some skewers and I'm thinking of just adding like 3 together just to give me a bit more width, a bit more stability for it. And all I'm going to do is wrap them with something. I'm going to wrap them with something, but I just don't know what. I don't even know if that's straight. Yeah, that looks straight. Okay, so I've got some of that. I wonder how much I'd need to wrap that with. And then put some ribbon on it. So I'm going to try and put some glue on these. I'm not sure how long I want these yet, so I'm just going to put a bit of glue on those. This is really messy. I'll just put another bit down the centre and put the other skewer on the top. Right. So I need to wait until they dry, or maybe twine something around them. I need to find out how high I want it, don't I? So if I stick it in the pot, I want it about that high. So maybe just cut these in half first. Yeah. I should have cut them before I glued them. But I'm just putting a mark. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just putting a cutting a mark in each of them, and then I'm just going to snap them. Too easy. So now I can let those dry. I just thought I'd put 3 together just so that it just adds a bit more stability to having the ball on them. And I am going to put some of this, how much to put in there, don't I? Okay, let's dig a hole in that in the centre. Hopefully that's the centre, not far off anyway. Hole there, some glue down the hole. That down there where the glue is. Okay, now for the ball. Okay, so line up my centre, which is about there. Fingers are still sticky, and trying to make that big enough for the 3 of these to go in. Alright, okay. Oh, my fingers are sticking to it. Put some glue down there. Press this in here. Down how far I ever want it. Oh. Okay, so I've got that a bit crooked, I think. No, that's alright. That looks okay. I moved the bottom part of that though, so I'm going to put some more glue in it because I pushed that right down then. I don't even know if you're supposed to put glue on that or not. And there we have it. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I like that so far. I'm going to put some more glue in there. Does the glue eat away at this? What is it? The foam brick, the floral foam brick. Okay, so I'm really just going to let that dry for a moment or two, but that's what it looks like so far. I don't think I'd want it any higher than what I've got it, or any lower. And the glue's all coming out of there. Because the ball is a little bit bigger than the pot, but it looks pretty good the way it is there. I think I like that. There we go. Okay, alright, so I'm going to let that have a dry. I'm going to go out and have some lunch. It's lunchtime and I'll be back to decorate it. And that does look a bit crooked, I think. That's down a bit too far. Oh well, there's nothing I can do. This one's for me anyway. Okay, I'll be back after I have some lunch. I'll see you then. Okay, so I've had a bit of lunch and this is completely dry now, I think. Well, it's dry enough to work with anyway. So what I'm planning on doing now is putting a bit of this lace, this crocheted lace around the stem. And I'm just going to use the white glue somehow wrap that around. Cut that off. A little bit more glue there. Let's stay down there. Okay, and now I'm going to add a little bit of this around the centre. Wrap it on. Actually, I might get the hot glue gun out now. If I can remember what I've done with it. Here it is. Right. Just going to cut a length of it off. Okay. I'm going to use some cotton twine around here and tie that onto there. never get the bow right sometimes. And it's fiddly trying to get both those strands through. I think I got them then, yeah. And it's not tight enough now. Okay, one more try. Actually, I might put, has that heated up yet? Yep. I'll just put a dab of glue there, just to hold that tight. Glue strands everywhere now. Why isn't that sitting properly? There. That's better. And a little flower there, I think. So I'm going to pull one off here. Can you see? Can't see what I'm doing, sorry. Cut one of these off. I'll cut a couple off. Flower in here. I'm going to put another one up there. So I've got a little cluster of flowers down there. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on. Looks nice, I like that so far. It looks pretty. So now I'm just going to decorate my ball. I'm going to use a little bit more of this. else can I put on there? Maybe cut a little length of that. And get the really want the pink in there. Really little touch of, I've got strands everywhere. Well, I need some more flowers. Alright. I really don't have that many flowers. I'll put that one on there. That looks nice. Let's just put a bit of glue on here. Not sure about the bow. Oops. I'll put that one on there. Hold that for a minute. Stay there, stay stuck. It's a bit wobbly. Got all the glue strands annoying me. Now, what else have I got? Got some little white ones. Some pearls. No, I don't want that on there. Got some little purple ones. Have I got any more of those? Some little purple hearts. It's a bit too bright. I wonder if I want my birdie on there. No. Okay, so I'm going to put some of those on. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Not sure where I want that one. Yeah, up there. Strands. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. This here is bugging me. That's better. Okay. I've got a little one here that I'm going to put in there somewhere. Little flower there, and I really need to get some more flowers. So I've got some, I know what I've got. I've got some cream ones here somewhere. Just quickly get them out. They're in here somewhere. I just want to use what I have. Oh, I've got pink ones. I thought I had cream. There's another, that's a cream one. Oh, I've got these ones. Might be able to use a couple of those, I think. Just pop them around the place. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Red, pink. Okay. Alright, so I grabbed out a couple more. Let's see how some of these go on here. Oh, phone. Oh, Pa's got it. Richard's got it.
Jessica.
Righto, thanks.
I'm just going to go get the key.
Hello? What? Oh, you're downstairs? Oh, yep, righto, I'll see you in a minute. Bye.